Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be going over 15 movies that didn't make my top favourite 15 movies from the year 1999. This possibly might be my second favourite year out of the 90s as a decade. Probably just runner up to 94 in my opinion, because there's just so many good movies to come out from 99 in my opinion. I had an absolute blast putting this list together. And yeah, I think I've picked out some good ones here, so gonna get into it. So coming up first, we have Ghost Dog: The Way of the Samurai, directed by Jim Jarmusch, starring Forest Whitaker. So this again, it's a movie that I think is very, very similar to Luc Besson's Leon, in my opinion. Forest Whitaker plays this hitman, and he's just absolutely fantastic, shit hot at his job in this film. He's just absolutely superb. Someone you don't want to cross paths with in this movie. And he's dedicated his craft to sort of following the way of the samurai, as the title would suggest in this movie. The way he conducts himself and his role, he's just superb in this film. But what ends up happening is, because he's causing a lot of problems for mob bosses and things like that, eventually there is like a sort of a warrant for him by these mobsters in this movie. And I just think it's a great little action film. Probably one of my favourite Forest Whitaker films. I think it's just absolutely superb. So yeah, that's Ghost Dog: Way of the Samurai. So coming up next, we have
Oh, pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you, baby. Let me love you.
10 Things I Hate About You. So it wasn't love at first sight for this movie for me, I've got to be honest. I think the cast is pretty good. A lot of young, fresh faces in there for the time. Heath Ledger, Julia Stiles, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Superb little cast to this film. And it sort of follows these two sisters. The younger one is sort of wanting to date someone, but her parents won't let her until her older sister starts to date someone else. But yeah, it's a little bit of mystery there going on with the sort of relationships, about, you know, some ethical questionability there. But yeah, I just have a fun time with this movie now. I think it's got a lot of charm to it, a lot of heart to it, great characters, fun one-liners in there, and yeah, I just think it's a good teen movie to come out of the late 90s. So that is 10 Things I Hate About You. So coming up next, we have
Well, your husband Bernie, you didn't by any chance lead him to the lake blindfolded?
If I had a dick, this is where I'd tell you to suck it.
Lake Placid. I grew up watching this movie and I absolutely loved it. I thought this was a fun little creature feature movie with an absolutely exceptional cast. Bill Pullman, Bridget Fonda, Oliver Platt, Brendan Gleeson, and Betty White. It just absolutely stacked. It kind of put Oliver Platt on the map for me in this movie. I really sort of liked him in this film. I thought he was really funny. But yeah, it's about sort of this giant sort of crocodile, I guess. And yeah, that's the movie. It's mysterious deaths happens in this film, and this team's brought in to investigate what's going on. Nothing special about it. But it does have a lot of likability, in my opinion, and I just have fun with this film. So that is Lake Placid. So coming up next, we have
Mind if I take a seat beside
Don't
you?
move. This is for most improved player at Lyman Camp. I was 11.
Varsity Blues. So again, this is another late 90s film that I was very, very late to the party with. I love these types of movies, early 2000s, sort of teen comedies, sports movies, coming of age films. I'm a sucker for them. And again, didn't see this film until I think late last year, early this year. I was blown away by it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Great young cast, like I said, following this football team. The star quarterback's injured. Someone else has to come in to replace him and try and lead the team to victory. Jon Voight as the coach, just absolutely despicable, but yet so mesmerizing. You just can't take your eyes off the guy in this film. And I thought it was just a great little film. Really, really enjoyed it. A lot of heart to it. So, yeah, that's Varsity Blues. So coming up next, we have...
You, pew boy. Grab the pizza. Well?
What?
What do you think? Hoover it. Now.
She's All That, starring Freddie Prinze Jr. So I kind of knew him from the live-action Scooby-Doo movies growing up, particularly the first one. I was never really a big fan of him, and I wanted to check this movie out because, again, it kind of fit into that bracket of genre of movies that I just really like and have fun with. So that's She's All That. I thought, yeah, I'll give that one a go, see what it's about. And it follows him. He sort of makes this bet that he can sort of turn sort of an unattractive girl into something quite desirable. And that's pretty much the movie. It's got a cast full of familiar faces as well. You got Matthew Lillard in there as well. Shermanator from the American Pie movies and that disgusting pube pizza scene. Well, yeah, it's just likable. Like I said, it's got charm, heart to it. It's another one of these movies that's sort of very, very cookie cutter for the genre, in my opinion. But again, something about it that I just couldn't help but like. So yeah, that's She's All That. So coming up next, we have...
Nick? Nick? Oh my God.
Double Jeopardy, starring Ashley Judd and Tommy Lee Jones. Again, not a movie that was love at first sight. I sort of had to grow and like this film. Really enjoyed it on a rewatch a hell of a lot more than I did. So it follows Ashley Judd's character. She wakes up one morning, her husband's gone, and she's just sort of like covered in blood. And she gets arrested for his murder, tried, put to prison, and is convicted of his murder. And later on, I'm not going to say what happens, but the double jeopardy side of it means is that once you are sort of acquitted of a crime, even if you didn't commit it, you can't be tried for it again. And that's pretty much the premise of the movie, where we find out, when secrets are revealed, revelations happen. I just thought this was a cracking little film. Really, really enjoyed it. Great little suspenseful thriller. So yeah, that's Double Jeopardy. So coming up next, we have...
Hi, Rana, right? You wouldn't know where I could get something to go with all this juice, do you?
Donuts, aisle 4.
I was actually hoping for something a little more euphoric. The British guy usually hooks us up.
Go. Very short, simple title. I love it. It's straight to the point. Not much of a plot to this film. It sort of follows this drug deal and what goes on sort of after it, following loads of sort of groups of these different characters in this movie. 3 in particular, I think sort of stick out for me. But yeah, again, great young fresh-faced cast to this one. You got Katie Holmes in there as well. It's just a very, very likable, transient film. We don't spend too long with certain characters, which doesn't overstay its welcome at all. I particularly like the sort of follow-up with the 2 guys who, one of them's British, they end up going to this strip club in this film, and what happens there is quite humorous. Yeah, it's just a quite small, little, likable film. There's not much going on to it, but it's just... you just like what's going on screen in the movie with the characters. Very character driven. So yeah, that's Go. So coming up next, we have...
I guess I'll just have to take my ball and go home.
No, wait, miss. Please. That was cool. Wait, 1 second. Wait. Hold on, stop her. Oh, we speak.
Wow, that was great.
Man.
We might be able to squeeze in one more interview.
Yeah, seeing as how you schlepped your ball all this way.
Appreciate that, thanks.
You're really good.
What's up? I'm the spleen.
I'm the bowler. How you doing?
Very attractive.
Mystery Men. Is this a perfect movie in my opinion? Absolutely not. I think it's one of these movies that's kind of riddled with problems, but again, it's just an easy watch for me. I can put this on from time to time and just kind of get some enjoyment from it. It follows this superhero played by Greg Kinnear, who's kind of like head to head with this villain. Something bad happens, and these group of amateur superheroes kind of sort of have to band together in order to save the day and their city. And that's pretty much the movie in a nutshell. I kind of just like the creative aspect to it. The superheroes themselves, the powers are not the best by any means in the movie. They're quite terrible. But yeah, it's just this band of misfits trying to sort of be the underdog and save the day in this film. And I just find it quite likable. So yeah, that's Mystery Men. So coming up next, we have...
Thanks, Jennifer. I'll take him from here. Come on.
Mumford. So this is a movie, again, I don't hear a lot of people talking about. It's got an absolutely stellar cast. Jason Lee, Mary McDonnell, Martin Short, to name but a few. And it sort of follows a new psychiatrist who moves to the town. He has the same name as the town as well, called Mumford. And he's an absolute hit as a psychiatrist. People are absolutely loving him. In this film, they just think he's like the best person to talk to about their problems in this movie. But despite all that and being such a success, he has a questionable past in this film, and you can probably guess what it is straight off the bat. I won't say what it is in this video in case you haven't seen it, but yeah, it's just a delightful movie. A lot of fun characters in the film. Really, really likable film, so check this one out if you've not seen it. That's Mumford. So coming up next, we have...
Dead. Easy, Tiger. Undead, actually. You said you were just unconscious. You lied to me. Hey, you killed me. All right, try and keep this thing in perspective. Yeah, I was a little bitter about the whole getting killed by my best friend thing, but I've had time to get over it.
Idle Hands. So again, this is one of these little hybrid movies, teen comedy mixed in with kind of horror, and yeah, it works so well for me. Really, really enjoy this one. It follows this teenager whose hand sort of becomes possessed and goes on a little bit of a murderous killing spree in this film, to say the least. But I have fun with this film. I think the makeup design in it is really, really good for when the people that the hand harms come back. Really good, really like, I wouldn't say zombie effects, but decaying effects. Really, really awesome. Really, really enjoy it. It's a fun time, this one. Great cast. You've got Seth Green in there as well. Yeah, just one of these sort of great little creative movies to come out of the late 90s. So, yeah, that is Idle Hands. So coming up next, we have...
Be nice, girls. Nice is not enough. If I was friends with every Pam, Beth, and Sherry just because they were nice, I'd have Noah's fucking Ark in my phone book. Remember, everything is peachy keen. Peachy fucking keen.
Jawbreaker. So again, this for me is very much a 90s version of Heathers, which is a movie I absolutely love. It sort of follows three girls. They're probably the most popular girls in this school that they attend, and they end up sort of killing this the the prom queen who's going to be the prom queen with this jawbreaker in this film after this kidnapping goes horribly wrong. It's absurd, it's silly. Again, though, it is very, very cookie cutter to that type of genre. These high school teen comedies, which I just absolutely love. Got a load of them in the early 2000s as well. And yeah, again, the movie has a likable charm about it. I enjoy it. I have fun with it. That's Jawbreaker. So coming up next, we have
Mr. Adam West. The American Teen Princess Pageant has been enriching the lives of American-made girls since 1945. The American Teen Princess Pageant provides personal growth, scholarship, travel, and you might even meet a few celebrities. Yeah.
Drop Dead Gorgeous. Again, similar type of movie about this beauty pageant. I really enjoy this one. I just have a blast with it. Fun cast: Kirsten Dunst, Denise Richards. You've even got a small cameo from Adam West in there as well. It just follows these girls as it kind of follows them through a mockumentary type style of film. And yeah, it's just, again, very, very likable. Really enjoy it. Follows them as they go through this beauty pageant. They're all trying to compete and outdo each other, but things turn very, very deadly as one of them will kind of stop at nothing to take the crown home. And yeah, I just really like the film. I just think it's a great time. So yeah, that's Drop Dead Gorgeous. So coming up next, we have...
I need information. I thought you might be able to help.
Thomas Wells. Nice picture. What sort of information you looking for? Because I got all different kinds.
Kind I'll pay for.
Joel Schumacher's 8mm starring Nicolas Cage. So again, this is a great little sort of crime investigation movie. Nicolas Cage plays this sort of private investigator who's hired to sort of find out what's going on with this firm, whether it's real or not, and he kind of discovers that something's going on that he didn't really expect, that we didn't expect when we were watching it. And it delves into sort of the underworld of, I'm not going to say what, because I think if you need to watch this film to find out what's going on. And yeah, it's just bizarre, it's out there, it's strange, but again, I just really like it. I kind of really like Joel Schumacher as a director, although a lot of people, consider the Batman movies to be a misfire. I still have fun with those films, despite their flaws. But outside of that, he's still a really good director, in my opinion. Time to Kill, Falling Down, and 8mm, I just think are great movies. So, yeah, that's 8mm. So coming up next, we have...
Who put you up to this?
Oh, hi, Tracy.
Who put you up to this?
What do you mean?
You just woke up this morning and suddenly decided to run for president?
Election. Yeah, this is again another fantastic movie. Takes place during high school. You've got Matthew Broderick in this film as a sort of teacher who's very sort of set in his ways with the way he does things in this film, and he comes up against a sort of, he's very much the immovable object, and Reese Witherspoon is the unstoppable force in this film. A very, very overachieving student, very ambitious. And the two of them just don't really get on in this film. They're constantly butting heads over everything in this movie, and they go to no lengths to sort of outdo one another in this film. I just think it's a fantastic high school movie. I think it's due to be getting a 4K very, very soon as well, which I will certainly be getting. And yeah, I just think it's a fantastic little fun film. So that is Election. So coming up next for the final film, we have...
Not yet suicide! I don't care! Not
Checkmate.
Virus, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. I think this is a very likable film despite its flaws. It's probably the worst movie on this list that I've compiled, but I still like the movie. I have a great time with it. It's due a rewatch for me, this one, But yeah, it just follows this crew on this voyage, this ship that they're on, led by Jamie Lee Curtis, and they find out that there's this alien entity on board, and it just becomes hell bent on causing as much havoc as possible in the movie. It's daft, it's silly, but again, I like the film. It's an easy watch. I enjoy it for what it is. Is it the greatest movie ever? Absolutely not. Could be considered to be bang average, but for me, I enjoy it. I have a good time with this one, so yeah, that is Virus. So yeah, that is it, guys. That brings us to an end of the 15 movies that didn't make my favourite list from each year of the 90s. So I'm going to be taking a break from this sort of series. I will be back next month talking about 15 movies from each year of the 2000s that didn't make my favourite list, but that is going to be the last decade I'm going to be covering, as I just think that was when kind of like the movies for me were the ones that I really, really enjoyed and have absolute fun with, absolute blast with those movies from the 2000s. So I think that for me is a suitable place to stop, because that's where I get my most enjoyment from, the 80s, 90s and the early 2000s. So yeah, there's going to be other videos coming up on the channel. I've got some ideas planned, and hopefully you can stick around for them. So yeah, be back next month with this list covering the 2000s. So that being said, guys, gonna leave the video there and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.